Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see you all again. This class is very beneficial for current affairs preparation. Those of you who are new to this channel, let me just tell you that this class premieres on a daily basis from Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. October has arrived. Just a few months later, we will have our notification for the UPSC 2024. Many of you must be feeling October blues. Am I doing the right thing? What is the correct strategy? Etc. etc. How to balance the static portion with the current affairs. Do not worry. Static portion, you can do it with the help of books and also the newspapers, as in you have to match it. Just if I talk about the current affairs, the daily current affairs are a one-stop solution. These classes are a one-stop solution in understanding how questions can be formulated with respect to current affairs. You have to not dread current affairs anymore because I provide these classes for you. Also, you just have to revise later on from the PDF that I provide on Telegram channel, Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries regarding this examination, you can also talk to me on my Instagram and follow me on my threads. So these are the various events that we have to cover. Last time I asked a question with respect to Vyomamitra. Consider the following. Interact with the environment control life support system, perform life support operations, respond to the queries by astronauts. So how many of the above can be performed by Vyomamitra? Vyomamitra is actually a half humanoid entity, a female half humanoid entity. And she made her debut in 2021 during Human Spaceflight and Exploration, Present Challenges and Future Trends. This was an event. So this is a female half humanoid entity. You have to remember that. Humanoid means something that has an appearance just like a human being. And her name is Vyomamitra. Vyoma means space in Sanskrit, right? And Mitra means friend. So it's a space friend. She'll be a companion as well as having a very good conversing abilities with the Vyomanauts. Indian astronauts that are going to go through the Gaganyaan mission in the lower Earth orbit for 3 days, approximately 400 kilometers away as an altitude. So they will be carrying with themselves Vyomamitra as well. So yes, if I talk about what functions can she perform, she can respond to the queries by Vyomanauts or astronauts. That is correct. She can also perform life support operations, provide alerts, and interact with the environment control life support system as well. So 1, 2, and 3, all three will be the correct answer. Also remember, it is a prototype for the Gaganyaan mission. The Gaganyaan mission, which will be a crewed vehicle, that means three people have been selected. Actually, 4 people have been selected, out of which 3 will go for 3 days in the lower Earth orbit. We also have to bring them back. I have covered a lot about Gaganyaan yesterday in the yesterday's daily current affairs and another class as well. She will monitor through the module parameters, send alerts, and perform life support operations. She can perform activities like switch panel operations and converse with the astronauts, also recognize them and answer their queries. She also can interact with the environment control life support system. So, 2 flight operations will take place right now on 21st of October. This is like a mock drill. First, crew module will go. Later on, approximately next year only, we will also send Vyomamitra on this particular mock drill. Okay, so that is why these 2 things are very important. Moving on, consider the following pairs: operation and country. Operation Ajay has been recently launched to repatriate Indian citizens from Israel. It is not technically an evacuation operation. I will tell you the difference between evacuation and repatriation as well. So Operation Kaveri is related to Sudan, Operation Rahat related to Yemen, Operation Devi Shakti, Ukraine, and Operation Ajay, Israel. So how many of the pairs given above is or are correct? I have already told you about Operation Ajay, which is going to help the stranded Indian citizens in Israel to come back to India. So whenever we are doing repatriation means that only. Not only helping the stranded Indian citizens to move away from that country, the country which is in question or is going through a war or disturbance, but also bringing them back to our country. This is called repatriation. If we just evacuate them, that does not mean that it is repatriation, because repatriation includes the part when we have to bring them back into our country. If supposedly I put the Indian citizens from Israel to Sudan, then that is evacuation and not repatriation. These kind of questions could be asked in your interviews. So be very sure you know these small differences. Operation Kaveri, yes, when Indian citizens, approximately 3,000 Indian citizens, were stranded in Sudan, we launched Operation Kaveri to bring them back. Repatriation again, first is correct. Operation Rahat, Yemen, that is also correct. I will in detail tell you about it in the explanation part. Operation Devi Shakti is actually in relation with the Afghanistan government collapse. When the power in Kabul was usurped by the Taliban, we had many Indian citizens who were stranded there. So we brought them back in 2021. This was also by the name of Operation Devi Shakti. Operation Ganga is related to Ukraine. Okay, when Russia invaded Ukraine, so we had to bring back many of our students specifically and other Indian citizens back to our country. That is Operation Ganga. And Operation Ajay is correctly matched with Israel. First is correct, second is correct, third is not correct, fourth is correct, three only will be the correct answer. Operation Ajay has been recently launched. Special chartered planes will take our Indian citizens, approximately 18,000 stranded Indian citizens are there. In a batch-wise manner, the registered citizens who want to come back to India can do so. The first batch will arrive in India today. Okay, there are so many areas in Israel that has been hit by war. Specifically, Tel Aviv, Ben Gurion Airport has also been hit by the Hamas, Bat Yam, Rishon LeZion, Ashdod, even Sderot. These specific areas are very dangerous right now. So we also have to ensure that the evacuation and repatriation policy of India is in line with the goodwill that India enjoys everywhere. And India has a stellar record when it comes to evacuation and repatriation operations. The most important is, of course, the Kuwait airlift, which was in 1990, when Iraqi soldiers, approximately lakh Iraqi soldiers with armed tanks, they marched into Kuwait. There were many Indian citizens who were stranded. Supposedly, if I have to put a number, they were 1,70,000. So they were airlifted and brought back to India. Okay, then we have Operation Sukoon of 2006. Operation Sukoon is related to the Israel-Lebanon issue. So this happened when a military conflict broke out between Israel and Lebanon. India rescued its stranded citizens through the Beirut region, and this is also known as Beirut Sea Lift. Sea Lift, why? Because Indian Navy was involved here. We brought them back through sea. So Beirut Sea Lift, remember, it is synonymous with Operation Sukoon of 2006. Then we have another one, that is Operation Rahat of 2015. Operation Rahat happened when, yes, 2015, I had to check it out because I was thinking about it to be 2013. When a conflict broke out between Houthi rebels and the Yemeni government, then this area of Yemen was a no-fly zone, as it was discussed by the Saudi Arabian government. So what had to be done? We had to again sea lift our stranded Indian citizens. Then we have Vande Bharat mission, who can forget it, 2020. India did not fail its citizens who were being actually, stranded in the entire lockdown phase. And Vande Bharat has been an immensely successful, large operation that has been done by India to repatriate its citizens. Operation Devi Shakti is related to the fall of Kabul 2021, when the Taliban usurped the government, the Afghani government. We all saw those disturbing visuals of people clinging onto the planes when the planes were leaving off because they didn't want to stay in that country. India remained true to its commitment to its citizens. We are going to come for you wherever you are in the world if you're stranded. Then if we talk about Operation Ganga, it is related to Ukraine 2022. Operation Maitri 2015, Operation Kaveri with Sudan. Operation Maitri is actually related to earthquake of Nepal when we had to airlift our citizens. Okay. Then we have Operation Dost of 2023. Operation Kaveri and Operation Dost both were in 2023, remember that. And Operation Dost, the operation was launched to bring back the stranded Indian citizens when Turkey and Syria was hit by earthquake. Okay, moving on. Consider the following statements. Derailments are responsible for 70% of the railway accidents, followed by train fires. Kavach TCAS or Kavach TCAS is a safety integrity level 4 security system. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Recently, we saw that the Northeast Express got derailed in Buxar, Bihar. It was going to Kamakhya in Assam. And derailments are something that India is no alien to. We also saw the Odisha train accident. Thereafter, there were many news that were pointing out to the issue of derailment. And derailment is a process or a phenomenon in which a train moves away or moves down from the track it was following. Generally, there are many factors which are responsible for derailments. It could be fracture or subsidence in the railway tracks. It could be a problem with the components of the engine or the wagons. Other points could also be collision, even signal problem. These all are the factors which cause derailment. So recently, the derailment that was caused, a news came that the emergency brakes were applied when the train was going at 128 km per hour, making certain wagons or bogies of the train to topple down. And 6 people have been declared dead as of yet. Many have been injured. Alright, so derailments basically, according to a report, a government report only, it has been suggested that 70% of the railway accidents are caused by it. Next is train fires, after that is collision. Okay, then Kavach TCAS. Kavach TCAS is basically a train collision avoidance system. It is a higher level security system of safety integrity level 4. So remember, these kind of small things can also be asked in your UPSC examination. I could have put 2, I could have put 1. So you have to remember this as well. First is correct, second is also correct, both 1 and 2 will be the correct answer. Commissioner of Railway Safety will be probing the Northeast Express derailment in Buxar, and this situation is really grim. Many things have been pointed out with respect to the current situation. The maintenance of tracks were not done properly. This has what the preliminary probe has suggested. So here only the accident happened, and in Kamakhya to Kamakhya this particular train was going. A government railway safety report from 2019-2020 said that derailments were responsible for 70% of the railway accidents. Train fires and collisions were next with 14% and 8% respectively. 17 derailments were caused by track defects when they were reviewing an year. Fractures and subsidence of tracks happen. This is the major cause of such issues. Railway tracks actually are made of metal, and they throughout their lifetime undergo expansion and contraction. They expand during the summer months, and during the winter months they contract. So the distance between the train gauges or railway gauges, they increase or decrease accordingly. So continuous maintenance has to be done. They require regular maintenance. Tightening and loosening of tracks have to be done. Changing of sleepers have to be done. Even lubrication has to be taken care of. Inspection is done on foot, trolleys, locomotives and rear vehicles as well. In India, it is supposed to be done every 3 months, and regular maintenance is needed. More manpower is needed. Kavach is actually one of the higher safety level system. What happens that it has the objective that we have not, Kavach says that, guys, we do not have to let two trains collapse and collide with each other. This is the main objective that they have. So when this is a track, supposedly a railway track, this is another railway track, and in every 1 kilometer an RFID tag is fixed. This RFID tag will determine the speed, the direction of the train, and similarly it interacts with the satellite system, so that the station of TCAS as well as the station that is situated inside the train, a unit for TCAS is situated inside the train, all these are communicating with each other. And when two trains are about to come in contact with each other, automatically brakes will be applied, and hence collision can be avoided. It can also send alert messages, SOS emergency messages. It can also auto whistle if it is nearing any gate. Other than this, if any pilot has for some reason jumped the red light for any reason, it could be laziness, it could be due to grave mistake, all these can be done because humans are susceptible to mistakes. So that is why this particular TCA system will avoid any sort of collision and accident. The problem is that most of our country's railway tracks do not have this system right now. This is the main problem. Although work started in 2012 itself and field operations began in 2016. Still, we have not got our TCAS properly. It is designed by the Research, Design and Standards Organization of the Ministry of Railways. On-board equipment on locomotives, that is the trains, trackside elements, wireless network, everything is provided here. Khola chili and kernel cashew are GI tagged products from Odisha, Goa, Mizoram, Ladakh. Recently, kernel cashew or Goan cashew has got its GI tag from Goa, of course. Kaju, that we call it, Kaju is actually a Portuguese word and it was found in Brazil. It was actually introduced by the Portuguese and that was in 1500 something. So I will tell you about that year as well. Let's move on and talk about it. Goan cashew got the geographical indication tag recently, which is being considered as a mile towards Swayampurna Goa mission. It is conferred upon products which are originating in any specific place. And the uniqueness of that product is due to the origin or the geography of that area. Supposedly, my state is X and this X state, it crops out very sweet fruits. For example, let's take dragon fruit. And because of the soil that is present in my state, then only that fruit is getting its taste. Then I can apply for GI tag because the uniqueness of that fruit is due to the geography of that fruit. Okay, a trademark is provided in the international market whenever anything gets GI tag. It is given by the Geographical Indication Registry in Chennai. Remember that because this could be in a question as well. Now, derived from the Portuguese name Kaju or Kaju in Konkani, traders cannot use Goa cashew logo on the packets without registration. Remember that. Cashew was native to northeast Brazil in Latin America. And these were introduced to Goa by the Portuguese in 1570. And these were primarily brought to India. Why? To do afforestation and soil conservation. Later on, the edible facets of it were discovered. There are many GI tags that you have to know about. Specifically, if I talk about Rasagolla, which is a foodstuff from Odisha, Kandhamal Haladi from Odisha again, Manipuri black rice from Manipur, Kashmir saffron from Jammu and Kashmir. We have other important things as well, such as Khola chili from Goa, Dindigul logs, which are manufactured from Tamil Nadu. Because you see, GI products can be either manufactured, that means man-made, or natural, both. Alright, let's move on. Under the Geographical Indications of Goods Act 1999, GI tags are provided and Geographical Indication Registry in Chennai provides this registry. This comes under the Department of Industry Promotion and Internal Trade. Remember this very specifically. Moving on. With respect to the ozone layer, consider the following statements. Ozone depletion is not a principal cause of global climate change. The size of the ozone hole over Antarctica fluctuates each year, opening each year in August and closing again in November or December. And scientists believe this year's big ozone hole could be due to the volcanic eruption at Hunga Tonga in Tonga. So how many of the statements given above is or are not correct? Recently, it has been found out that a huge ozone hole has occurred near Antarctica. And this is not something that is new. It happens every year, specifically because of the winds. I will tell you that as well. The size of the ozone hole over Antarctica fluctuates every year and this can be opening in August, closing in November or December. And the ozone depletion, according to the scientific agreements, they say that it is not a cause of global climate change. It is not so that if the ozone layer is opening, it is going to cause any sort of change in the climatic situation. But scientists believe that this year's big ozone hole is due to the volcanic eruption that happened at Hunga Tonga volcano. So first is correct, second is correct, third is also correct. We had to select the not correct one. None will be the correct answer. So remember, you have to also look into these certain kind of keywords. I hope you are learning what kind of questions can be formulated. Some things or the others can definitely be tweaked from here. For example, ozone depletion is a principal cause of global climate change. That will become wrong. Okay, so D will be the correct answer. This is the ozone hole that we are talking about. And the hole which scientists call an ozone depleted area, it is approximately 26 million square kilometers in size, roughly 3 times the size of Brazil. The European Space Agency's Copernicus Sentinel-5P satellite has made the recordings recently. And this is all under EU's environmental monitoring program. If I talk about the ozone layer, it is a protective layer which is found in the stratosphere. It is approximately 20 to 30 kilometers in coverage like this, and as in this width. Okay, it covers the entire earth. What does it do? It provides protection from the harmful UV rays of the sun. So if we are free of cancer, skin cancer specifically, we have to thank the ozone layer. And where is it found? It is found in the stratosphere. You have to remember it. Moving on, this is right now the hole that we are witnessing. It is one of the biggest ozone holes they have ever seen, and this year's ozone hole started earlier than usual. It is also bigger than usual. It is also not likely to increase warming on the surface of the Antarctic area, Antarctic ice. It is not going to let it melt. That is for sure believed by the scientists. Ozone holes are actually near Antarctica opens up because of the rotation of the earth, causing special winds above the closed landmass of the Antarctica. And that does not, this particular wind does not mingle with other winds. And that creates ozone hole such big as this. It will close down soon. Okay, but scientists believe that this year's ozone hole that has developed is because of the Hunga Tonga volcanic eruption. Why? Because of the volcanic eruption, generally the state of the volcanic eruption is something that is just below the stratosphere. It doesn't generally reach the stratosphere. But this eruption was so big that maybe water vapors reached up to the ozone layer. And when the water vapor reached, it caused a speeding of the heating process or heating rates. And then it also consists of certain elements such as bromine and iodine, which cause certain chemical changes. So yes, remember that. Moving on, with respect to Mission Life, choose the correct statement. Mission Life is an India-led global mass movement. It was launched at the COP27 Sharm el-Sheikh Summit, and India is the first country to include life in its nationally determined contributions. And you have to remember, because these kind of small things, it may seem like that's something you can get rid of. Maybe not remembering it is good enough, but no, you have to remember it. And as a global program, Mission Life envisions 3 core shifts in our collective approach towards sustainability. So, the thing is that we have to select the incorrect statement. Mission Life, yes, India led it and India initiated it in order to mobilize the citizens of India as well as the world to approach the earth right now in a sustainable manner. We will be called as pro-planet people. If I start using bamboo brush instead of plastic ones and bamboo glasses instead of plastic ones, if I carry my own metal straw with myself and reduce my dependence on plastic, then I will become a pro-planet person. And this is what Mission Life wants to do. At an individual basis, it wants to create this awareness why using sustainable things is important. So yes, it is an Indian-led global mass movement. Remember that. And it was launched at the COP26 in Glasgow, UK, and not Sharm el-Sheikh Summit. This is incorrect. India is the first country to include Mission Life in its nationally determined contributions, which is under the Paris Agreement. We have to follow certain NDCs in order to tell the world that these are the goals that we are going to achieve on an individual level as a country. And this is one of the biggest achievements of India, that India is doing great in 2 out of its 3 NDCs. And now we have the 4th one, that is the National Mission Life. As a global program, Mission Life envisions 3 core shifts. What are these 3 core shifts? First, demand shift. We have to shift the demand. That means we have to make people aware on the usage of sustainable products. After demand has shifted, we will shift our supply. First, demand has to be created, then supply has to be done. And thereafter, when these two will interact properly with each other, we will make new policies. So these are the 3 core shifts. Okay. So first, A, C and D are correct. B is not correct. Parliamentary Forum on Mission Life begins in Delhi, and that is very important for us to know. P20, which we are calling it, and under G20 only, P20 is being conducted for Mission Life. Mission Life is an Indian-led global mass movement to nudge the individuals and community action to protect the environment. At the 26th session of the COP, which happens under the UNFCCC, Glasgow, UK, India launched this. India shared this mantra of life, that is lifestyle for environment, to combat climate change. India is the first country to include it in the NDC as well. It is designed with the objective to mobilize at least 1 billion. Remember that these facts can be asked in your prelims. 1 billion Indians as well as other global citizens to take individual and collective action to protect and preserve the environment. These people will be known as pro-planet people, PPP. Okay, and we are going with a three-pronged shift. First, changing demand. This is phase 1. Then changing the supply. This is second phase, and then changing in policy. Changing in demand will be achieved with the help of awareness, with the help of incentive. Thereafter, supply will be changed accordingly, and thereafter policy will be shifted. Now, P2I batches are closing in on 15th of October. If you haven't taken admission yet, please do so, because these batches will not only take care of your GS but also CSAT, essay, ethics, and other sorts of anything that is related to UPSC. Even psychological guidance will be given. We will also give you Gyan Vani sessions, and even you will have a residential program that is just for study IQ students. So if you're okay with a validity for 18 months, you can go with the silver batch. Gold is for 30 months and platinum is for 42 months. Silver is for 23,999, gold is for 26,999, and platinum 42 months 29,999. Use the code PDLIVE if you want to get admission in any of the batches. And the classes are live in nature at 6 p.m. So whatever classes you have missed, you will get the recorded version. After that, you will start getting your live classes. This is the practice question that you have to solve and answer in the comment segment. Which of the following payloads of Aditya L1 will capture the UV image of the solar photosphere and chromosphere? VLEC, PAPA Papa, Soot, or Solex? Okay, let me take the names of those students who have answered my last question correctly, because it's really good for you to answer these kind of questions, Then only you will learn. If you will not answer it, it's not going to help you in any manner. Beg your pardon. Yes. So last time I asked a question, C was the correct answer. Simran, exotic writer Rashika, Mandeep, Vijayashri, Devi, Priyadarshan, Mansi, Manish, Sanjay, Revati, thank you so much. Prabhat, Comedy Masala has answered it correctly. Ritu, Aditya has also given us important information. Thank you so much. Shubham, Abhishek, Swati, Riya, Pragati, Abul, thank you so much. My mobile phone has answered it correctly. Shruti, thank you so much for answering the last question. Answer this question as well. We'll see you soon.